free speech goes on. So it turns out that your administrators are a bunch of hacks. Pathetic crybaby wusses who only care about the melting snowflakes, who didn't even have the balls to show up, by the way. They got 35 people, 35 security people for little old me. No, not even any protesters, just for me, because of my jujitsu skills and my massive 5'9", 165 Jewish frame. Okay, so I want to start. I come bearing gifts, particularly for the social justice warriors. So I keep hearing that you fellas, that you party people, that you want to, you're wearing around these safety pins. So I brought a whole pack of safety pins just for you. And then to accompany those, I brought the diapers you ought to be wearing. So you can pin that up. You self-indulgent, pathetic children who can't handle anybody who has an opposing point of view. Yeah, you're real strong. You're real tough. So strong and so tough, you have to stand behind the security and the police officers that you're bashing every single day. I promise you, in the privacy of their own homes, every member of that security team and every member of the police force is in agreement with me, not the people who they're protecting from my supposed free speech threat. Okay, now a quick note about all the protests that are taking place across the country, just as a preliminary. A lot of protests taking place about Donald Trump. These people are idiots, okay? I didn't vote for Trump for reasons both moral and political, but you can keep whining about reality like privileged snowflakes, but you're going to melt in the sun of the real world. Donald Trump does not give two shits about what you think. He is going to bathe in your salty tears.
Hello, it's your boy Trash Can Compilation. Over 200 subscribers. That shit it lit. Yeah, thanks fuckers.
He's been really bloated today.
This my shit. All the girls that...
What's up? Oh, well, thank you.
I'm a Democrat, so can I speak bluntly to you?
Yes.
I think you're a hypocrite.
Okay.
You've gone on a rail about practice.
Sure.
You have gone on religion and how saying Islam is entirely, completely bad. Yet you refuse to go Catholics in your own religion. Remember the origin of the word faggot? That was when Catholics were burning gays on a stick. And what about the Republican Party? Have you seen their platform? It's the most...
Why do you think I like Republicans?
I think you like Republicans because you're conservative.
Well, I like Trump. I don't like Republicans. Why do you think I like Republicans? I've very often said the opposite. I think they've been total fucking cunts to blacks and gays. They haven't been particularly nice to women either. I don't know. The only reason that I've supported any candidate for the Republican Party is because it's Trump. I've never supported a Republican before. I don't think they're particularly nice people in many cases.
Yeah, because you're alt-right. You're the speaker for the alt-right.
No, not the alt-right. Oh, you think I'm a white... Oh, okay, all right. Oh, dear. White super... I don't what?
Journalism is to say unbiased part of the news, but you give a completely biased section.
What do you mean by unbiased? Do you think the New York Times is unbiased? Do you think NPR is unbiased? Right. So what's an unbiased news source in your view? What's an unbiased source in your view? Give us an idea of what an unbiased source looks like in your view. Because it's my view that there's this sort of suggestion on the political left that, you know, the holy grail of journalism is to be unbiased, to just stick to the facts. This sort of fact-checking data journalism kind of mythology, which is really just political ideology masquerading as data-driven reporting. There's this sort of idea that there's this sort of holy grail of impartial reporting. Well, my view on this stuff is that you should be open and transparent about your political objectives in a way that the right is and the left is not. Open and transparent about your political objectives, and let readers make up their own minds. I've never claimed to be impartial. I think it's fairly obvious I have opinions, and everything I say should be taken, with that in mind. And you should go and listen to me, and you should also go and listen to feminists, and you should go and listen to Black Lives Matter activists, and you should work out who you like the best at the end of it. Now, the problem is you're listening to bad sources because you've come here and you have sort of under your breath, almost not as loudly as you said anything else, but under your breath you sort of said, "Oh, white supremacists, blah blah blah." You kind of wanted to get it under the radar. You wanted to say it without me having an opportunity to dispute it. Fuck you! How fucking dare you call me a white supremacist? So, you're not leaving as well, are you? Come on! They always leave. They always leave. Defend your allegation that I'm a white supremacist. Defend your allegation that I'm a white supremacist. Defend your allegation that I am a white supremacist. You call me a white supremacist. Defend it. Defending... Am I? Baby. See, the amount of black dick that's been in my mouth. It's really... I must be the most self-loathing white supremacist in the world. I asked you, and I'm going to ask you, I'm going to give you one more opportunity to defend your allegation that I'm a white supremacist. Just try, do it.
Because you're enabling it. Because you have the main platform that is spreading...
What am I enabling? Because what I've talked about this evening isn't race or skin color, I've talked about values. And when the BBC did what you're attempting to do now, as 1.3 million people have seen on my YouTube channel, what they did was try to conflate an admiration for American values, for the First and Second Amendment, for freedom, democracy, property rights, capitalism. They tried to conflate that with race. They tried to say, if you're proud of your country, or you admire the values of another country, that somehow makes you a racist. It doesn't. So I ask you one final time. Please justify your allegation that I'm a white supremacist.
As a journalist and a reach to millions of people, you have an obligation, and you are blowing it with this hateful rhetoric that's further dividing this country.
What hateful rhetoric? You're not answering the question. White supremacists hate me. The Daily Stormer is the epicenter of white supremacists on the internet. They declared a holy war on me. They said they would never read Breitbart again until Breitbart fired me. They said I was their number one enemy. White supremacists and anti-Semites hate me. I prefer the expression race mixing kike faggot, but whatever. Sir, racists hate me. They hate me. Of course they do. So racists hate me, but I'm a white supremacist. You're just confusing me. You're confusing me. And I'm very easily confused because I'm a homosexual, but should we give him another chance? Give him one more chance. Okay. All right. Okay. One more try. I believe in you. I believe in you. I know you can do it. One more try. Justify your allegation. I didn't ask you if I was enabling white supremacists, which is just an equally idiotic allegation, but it's not the one you made. I'm asking you to justify your allegation that I'm a white supremacist. Please do so. All right. I think we've had enough. We've had enough fun at the expense of the disabled. Thank you very much. I'm sorry you're so stupid. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks, Milo.
Now, a phone line is being set up in Sweden to help women report their male colleagues for mansplaining. Well, so what is it? Well, in the words of the Oxford Dictionary, when a man explains something, usually in a condescending or patronising manner, a bit like what I'm doing now, but to a woman. The union behind the phone line says mansplaining is a growing problem in the modern workplace. So do women actually need protection, or is this a sign of political correctness going too far? Well, just joining me to discuss, Peter Lloyd, the author of Stand By Your Manhood, a game changer for modern men, and the broadcaster Rosie Millard. Good to see you both. Rosie, don't women really need to just toughen up? And if somebody is being patronising, say, sorry, you're being patronising, please stop. We don't need a helpline, do we?
Well, I think mansplaining is a bit like manspreading, that other awful word. Except if you can imagine, rather than their legs being apart, it's their kind of like can-do sensibility encroaching into women's areas. And this does happen. I mean, mostly it happens to me when I'm driving, when men who I don't even know stop and say, help me how to get into a corner or to park my car. Or indeed, when I'm driving somewhere I know very well, my husband decides to tell me where to go. You know, go left, go right. When I'm driving to my parents' house, for example.
And women are just as guilty of doing that as men. I do it all the time.
I think that it does undermine. I think women can be undermined in the workplace, in the office, and I think if there's a helpline to allow them to vent a bit of steam, or just to find out that there are other women who also feel anxious because their words aren't being taken as as authority, that they always need to defer to someone else. I think it's quite helpful to find that you're not alone in feeling deeply frustrated about it.
There you go, Peter Lord. It's helpful because women won't feel so alone. You're rolling your eyes. That's a very feminine thing to do, if I can say so.
I'm so sorry. I can't help it. I mean, how patronising to women. It's almost unbelievable. It's almost, ironic. Although that said, I actually welcome this helpline because it is firm proof of how divisive and vindictive feminism has become. Now, if this came from any other nation, I would assume that maybe the sisterhood has developed a long overdue sense of humour and this is all just a bit tongue-in-cheek. But of course, it just confirms that Sweden has absolutely lost the plot on the gender debate, and there should be a warning shot to every other country and everyone else in the world. Do not let the gender bullies dictate the narrative. It's embarrassing.
There you go, Rosie. Do you feel like a gender bully?
No, I think also that, Peter, it is all very funny, but actually, if we're talking about a narrative, let's just have a look at the heads of state of the European Union. Let us see how many people there are actually female. Let us look at the heads of boards, of members of boards, of trustees on boards. There are so few in Britain that we now actually have a group, a device, an institution designed to get more women onto boards, because it is so, we have less female MPs than they do in Afghanistan. It really is, and he may laugh it off and say, oh, this is gender balance gone mad. But actually, mate, it's not balanced in the first place. It's not balanced,
Mate?
and one of the reasons why it's not balanced...
Isn't that a sexy... Aren't you woman-splaining by calling me mate? I'm just going back to your previous point.
It's because women feel undermined
Going
in the
back to your
office.
point about the electorate, women are the largest electorate in the country. If they wanted the government to be full of female MPs, they could vote them in. There isn't a secret plan to keep women out. And moreover, we're talking here about a union that members subscribe and pay for to be members of. They should be representing all of their members equally. They shouldn't be having this gender bias and being rude and saying words like mansplaining. That's absolutely atrocious. I advise, if there are any Swedish men watching this programme, I advise them, cancel your membership to this union and hit them where it hurts.
I mean, Rosie, isn't another point that this is, if there are women out there who are so troubled by this kind of behaviour that they feel the need to take a helpline, don't they really need to look at, as you say, the real gender imbalances in the world, perhaps the imbalances at the top of the FTSE 100 companies? There are places where women need to be better represented, and surely anybody who wants to fight for female equality could perhaps direct their attentions and their energies a little more fruitfully than just worried about women being talked down to a little bit at work.
I think there are more men called John than there are women as board members in the FTSE 100. But I think that we have to look all around us, and I think that men wailing on about feminism gone mad and sexism and stuff just shows their anxiety. Men have had it. Men have had it purely in charge for a very, very long time, and now they're actually having some sort of threat to their position, and they are squealing, and this is a great example of it.
Peter Lord, isn't there some credence to the fact that this is a subtle way of men trying to control the space in the room a little bit? Rosie talked about manspreading. I mean, often in meetings, I've seen it, not literally, but metaphorically, willy waving going on. Men trying to dominate the airspace, talking over women. And this is the thin end of the wedge for a lot of women. They see this behaviour happening around them in the workplace, and then they look at the bigger picture, they look at how women are represented, and they say, this is fundamentally how it all starts.
Well, I think probably women do still face some issues in the workplace, but I think they're putting 2 and 2 together and getting 6. And let's not forget, there are much more serious issues that face men in the workplace that aren't being addressed. I mean, if you look at the rates of workplace fatalities in Sweden, 9 out of 10 of them were male. Why is the union not addressing this and not some wacky esoteric theory about, men sitting with their legs apart, PS, because of their anatomy, that it's more comfortable to do that, as some kind of oppressive force over women? We really need to get our priorities in order here. I'm not dismissing the concerns of women. I'm not saying that women still don't sometimes suffer hurdles in the workplace, but let's please get our priorities in order. I am sick of having to listen to this, back to front perspective on the real issues in the world. You know, we've just seen a presidential election run for 2 years, and not at one point did we hear any of them, either of the candidates, address the various men's issues that are promulgating the country and the world.
Rosie, isn't this a way of women really encouraging women to be victims rather than encouraging them to stand up for themselves?
I understand that, but I don't think so, because I don't know, because I haven't been on the helpline and I don't know what sort of advice people are giving. But I think that actually, if it's advice to be more confident and to operate better in the workspace and the workplace, then I think it's very valid. I am chair of a very big board. I'm chair of the Hull City of Culture, and I've never chaired a board before. This is an enormous multi-million-pound amazing event which is going to happen in Hull next year. And I was pretty nervous starting out chairing, being in charge of quite a formidable group of trustees. And I went on a course run by the Institute of Directors, a course for chairs, and about half of the people on the course are women and half are men. But a lot of it was about how to run a board effectively and how to chair it fairly and well. And I think that if women, because women are underrepresented in this area, I think if women are given help, be it by courses like I did,
Rosie,
or by helplines, it's a good thing.
OK, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we have to end it there because we're running out of time. Rosie Millard, Peter Lloyd, thank you both very much. Great to talk to you both.
Thank you.